welcome back to Stellaris, where in the last episode we finished dealing with the Khanate uprising, and they have become a major player at this point, I think. I mean, they're currently fighting against the Turambar hegemony, but we'll see how that goes. Also, speaking of seeing how things go, let's reach into the Shroud once more. There's a presence here occupying this entire part of a Shroud. We have met spirits before, but this is something else. Something vastly more powerful, something far more ancient. It seems unaware of us yet. Perhaps it's sleeping, perhaps we're simply beneath its notice. Perhaps we should leave. Perhaps we should attempt to communicate with the presence. As we reach out from the presence, we can feel it stirring its tension now fully on us. It doesn't seem to appreciate being disturbed. A wave of energy lashes at our telepaths, causing great agony. Okay, we have no choice but withdraw. That's a shame. As I said, the Shroud events are highly random. In the future, I'm probably not going to be reading them. Just, you know, if you want to read them, they were well written, no doubt about that, but it's a whole lot of them. Alright, I think we can upgrade some more of our stations because our market is kind of stabilized, both in terms of energy, and we also have some spare alloys left over now. Let's get some more housing. Imperious architecture. Yeah, we're a huge empire at this point. I mean, we kind of have satellite states and all that, but just taking a look from way out here, you would think, well, these guys must be powerful. When in fact, you know, in Stellaris, size is very deceptive. In reality, these, if they were to do something, would just be able to totally wipe everything out. We're getting there, but we're not quite there yet. And, you know, the other ones are trailing behind there somewhere. Alright. I think I'm gonna offer some more commercial zones for more clerks, for more trade values. I just don't want to build trade districts because, well, they also provide 3 housing, but we only have a very limited amount of districts that we can build, so I'd rather build a commercial zone here. Alright, hey, more ADM! Cool! Always choose ADM, no matter what else the game's gonna offer. We already have psionics.
A new technology.
If you offer us ADM, by the goddess, I'm gonna take ADM, man. Ooh, level 8 for governor. Isn't that the max level at this point? Wait, let's take a look. It's not. Our max level is 10, actually, because we're really good and all. But, well, he is above age, so I'm afraid he's probably gonna kick the bucket very soon, which is a bit of a shame. Well, you want your 5k again, right?
Construction complete.
That. Who the hell is moving through here? It's one of those hegemony guys, right? You just want to take that system because it's still untaken. Yeah, I know.
We have mastered a new technology.
Bloody unbelievable. Alright, if we add megastructures, we can restore them now. Also, we have a lot more storage now, which especially for alloys, if we ever go into building megastructures, is going to be very crucial. So what I would have said in the past, just having lots of things on storage is not very useful because they're not doing anything there, and you could have instead devoted your populace to just producing more research, which has both an immediate and a long-term beneficial effect.
Construction complete.
Right now we could always say, you know, we're just saving up for that Dyson sphere or whatnot. So guess it's gonna be my new excuse if I don't spend all my stuff. I'm gonna say, you know, I'm still saving up for that Dyson sphere, mate. We're getting there. Got a lot of piracy there. But lots of piracy means lots of trading opportunities that we should actually make use of. I guess. They got an experience point and another experience point. Woo! And another! Woo! And one more. Oh dear. Wow. It doesn't stop. Well, apparently it does at some point. But it did almost take the piracy down to 0. Okay.
Construction complete. We have mastered a new technology.
Let's go to Titans. Oh, hello there! What do we want first? A science nexus, a sentry array, or gateway? We are having a pretty small empire, and while gateway would help just to get our people quicker around, I think I'm actually gonna go with a science nexus because you always go with science first, right? Okay, well we can build a science nexus in the near future. Great. We need to figure out where we want to build that. I guess close to the center of learning back home in our home system, you know? But in the orbit of Dula? Dula sounds good. Strategically best location would actually be that Colonia Emerita over there, but we'll see. We can make that decision later, but we're gonna build a science nexus now. Ooh. Glad we saved up some alloys. Well.
Construction complete.
Alright, go here. Once we've built and fully realized that, we can then spend our Ascension perk on, what's the name of that? Galactic Wonders, because we need to have one fully restored megastructure. And then we can build a ring world and a Dyson Sphere, and that's gonna be really great. But we're not there yet. First, Science Nexus, then Dyson Spheres, you know? Sounds like a logical progression, at least. Alright, let's also take a look at our neighbors, if anyone seems to be becoming unhappy with us at some point. I guess we can send these guys some stuff. Guess some consumer goods. God damn it, just don't bother me with your bloody newsletter. Alright. Well, at least those guys are loyal. And these guys obviously too. I mean, and I've grown quite a bit, you know? Well, they've actually grown quite significantly. I mean, still small compared to us, but much better than the four brave guys that we sent out there initially. So Alright, now I'm getting impatient. When we get the Science Nexus, do it now! Oh, the Shroud. Alright. Hello, Shroud. What do you got in store for us today? Concept of time, as we know, it is aiming to the spot of the Shroud. What may seem like centuries here may be equal to mere hours or even minutes in the real world. Who knows where to look? It's even possible to glimpse into the future. Precognition is one of the surest paths to madness for a telepath, so we must use caution. Well, let's meditate here for a moment. A limited precognitive connection to the Shroud can be maintained without risking insanity, but the massive influx of probability data is too overwhelming to be of much practical use. Sort of a digital interface could be devised to interpret this data. It could be potentially be applied to improve the performance of our own Starship's combat computers. Well, that's an interesting thought.
We have mastered a new technology.
You know, I'd like those precognitive interfaces, please. Thank you. This is another thing that you can get from meditating in the Shroud, some rare technologies that you would not be able to access without it. So now we're inventing new innovative combat computers that can literally look into the future, see what's happening there, and then adjust what's happening in the combat. Which sounds crazy, but crazy is just a pretty good descriptor of us in general at this point. Alright.
We have mastered a new technology.
Titans! You can even improve their hulls if you really want to. I've rarely lost Titans, but if it's a rare technology on offer, why not? Wow, got the triple rare flush! Whoa! We're getting a price now. No? Okay, well, if you take a look at the ship designer now, we got a new ship class, the Titan. It's even bigger than the battleship. However, sadly, we can only build 2 of them at the moment, so we should consider what we want there. Also, you don't really have any options in terms of what you want to install there, so they always be kind of artillery-like vessels. Also, not too many main weapons that you can add there, so let's add that Perdition Beam. It's nice, and it has a really ridiculous range of 250. You know, those artillery guns have a range of 80. That Perdition Beam can literally fire through half the solar system. Which looks pretty crazy, but I like it. And let's also add all of that stuff. And most importantly about Titans, I think, is you have kind of a special ability that you can give them, like take away shield points from all hostile ships, take away fire rate from all hostile ships, give them less of a chance to disengage from combat, add more fire rate to your own ships, add tracking to your ship so that it can hit small things better, or something I also personally like because it allows your fleet to remain in the field much more effectively. Give it kind of automated hull regeneration. So it's all pretty interesting in my opinion. Nanobot Cloud seems like kind of the most boring one, but I still like it. 5% ship fire rate just boosts your combat power too, which is also pretty nice, even though it looks pretty boring here on paper. So, kind of hard to say. I mean, this makes enemies weaker, so might also be interesting. I'm actually gonna choose just the boring 5% ship fire rate. Alright, still got power for all that, cool. Because we have recently learned regenerative hull tissue. By just equipping that to our ships in one of the special slots, we can already give our ships limited self-regeneration effectively. So I'm just kind of using that instead of the group regeneration through the Titan. But you can also use the Titan for that. It doesn't really matter much. So we could boost the speed. Or fire control, or shield capacitors. The amount of shield points that we're looking at here is also pretty significant at this point. But you know, speed is kind of nice. So we'll stick with that. No. We haven't improved the gun. Someone's shouting, "Hey dude, the guns!" Yeah, got you, man. Well, I would like to add something other than just boring lasers and Gauss cannons, but they always seem to be the most efficient ones at their job. We also have Cloud Lightning, which has slightly lower range, but has shield and armor penetration. Also, the damage is a lot lower than that, so I'd rather stick to its original role and maybe even add kinetic battery, because that's really nice for long-range engagements that you can already start wearing opponents down from far. So we're gonna put a few of those in. And then for close-range massacre, we're gonna add in lasers, I guess. By the way, we got orange lasers now, because green wasn't OP enough, so we got orange lasers now, apparently. Alright, so now we got all the stuff. Cool. Since we're here, I think we can also upgrade these ships a bit, because we have better armor and shields. Also gonna sacrifice some speed for regenerative hull tissue. It's quite a lot of speed that we end up sacrificing here. Damn. Oh. Got the new lasers, so let's replace those. We also got better stormfires. And Gauss cannons. And these are improved, but not advanced. So let's also add advanced strikecraft here. Alright, so we got all of that. Alright, same thing here. Lasers, lasers, lasers. Gauss cannon, Gauss cannon, Gauss cannon. That. That was the only thing. Armor. Shields. Place one of them with regenerative tissue. Okay. Cool. Let's do the same thing with the cruiser now. Regenerative hull tissue. Gun replacement. Oh. Nope, didn't want that. Alright. Alright, power, engine. Cool. Destroyer. Got way better point defense. Also got better lasers, better Gauss cannons. Though admittedly, for these kinds of ships, Stormfire autocannon might actually not be bad in the small slots. But then we would need to focus that on lasers exclusively. Alright, well. Seems okay to me. Here, I'm actually not gonna install the hull repair, because the evasion is too powerful for these ships, because that's pretty decent number that they get just from the advanced afterburner, and I don't think it's worth a little bit of hull regeneration, because they don't have much hull and armor to begin with. Their best defense should be speed. No? Okay, what is these auto? Did you really not upgrade that at any point? Jesus. Okay, no wonder it hasn't complained about upgrading those ships. Guess we're gonna do it ourselves then. Let's stick with the missile board. I don't really give a damn. Alright. 1 armor, 2 shields, I guess. And they also need the speed. Alright. Does not have enough. Oh. Oh, apparently the second shield is too much for the ship to handle. I'm guessing we're gonna go with armor then. Okay, cool. I'm actually gonna transfer those raiders that we have had for quite some time. And after one last look at them, I managed to get to experience close to 1,000 actually. Damn it. And that one too, but they're really becoming a liability now, especially with their slower drives compared to what we got at the moment, so... Sorry dudes, but you're officially dismissed. Okay. Good, let's start upgrading these guys first. What? Who's that? Oh, it's a derelict cruiser. Oh, well, speaking of dismissing obsolete ships, take care, man. And... upgrade. You can also start upgrading. You'll want to move back here, and then you also get the upgrade treatment.
Xenomongrels have declared war on each other.
Well, the Khanate wants to take on these guys again, apparently. Didn't know they were stopping... They didn't know they had stopped the war at some point, but clearly... What the hell? Why is there a ruined Dyson sphere here in the middle of nowhere? Why is this the first time I'm hearing of this?
Our ships have been upgraded.
Could you go over there and take a look at what the hell is happening there? Because I can restore that thing. Potentially. But it's probably not just there for decoration purposes. Decorative purposes, I wanted to say. So... it's probably being guarded by something that these guys can't handle. But we might. And if I have to... and if I don't have to build an entire Dyson sphere from the ground up, then... I'd be pretty okay with that, honestly. All right. Okay, we have an ADM of 150 now, so we can actually build some stuff if we want to. Another farm or something.
We have mastered a new technology.
Hey, Science Nexus. I'm not gonna research that. This is red. It's the first time that we've seen a red technology, which says it's dangerous. Not gonna explain why it's dangerous yet. I'm gonna be hopefully remembering that when it becomes relevant. But I'm not gonna research that. We are probably eventually gonna get an improved telepath variant of the jump drive anyway. Which, despite that being dangerous too, I'm probably gonna research, so I'm not gonna waste my time researching that when I'm probably gonna replace it with Psi jump drive at some point anyway. Okay.
Construction complete.
Now with our spare ADM that we have right now, for the first time in like ever, well, for the first time in like the last 100 years, let's say, I could seriously consider just colonizing the Trappist planet that has lots of mining districts. Might be interesting. Yeah, let's go for that. And let's also do planet prospecting. Gene clinics and purification plants. Alright, Science Nexus. Kind of forgot the most important thing. We can now build a Science Nexus. Anywhere on these points here. So we're gonna be building it here, I figured. On Colonia Emerita. But the construction ship is not just gonna build the entire Nexus by itself.
We have mastered a new technology.
It's gonna build a building site for the rest of the Nexus, and then in various phases we're gonna build the actual Science Nexus. More ADM. You're spoiling me. But thank you. Okay, seems like we might just do another mole harvesting trap. And do we have much trade going on here? We do not. Don't have much commercial zones right here because we're laser focused on just doing research here, which I appreciate. It's probably got more research production at this point probably than our home planet, like around 300. You do, well, around 400, okay? Guess I underestimated you guys. No offense. But we're gonna replace those farms with city district. At least one of them, at least.
Construction complete.
And we need more rare crystals. So you got all the upgrades. Now you can get your upgrade. Also ends up using up most of our minerals, but it's gonna be worth it.
Colonization efforts begun.
For reference, they were sitting at like 26k. Let's see where they're standing after the upgrades. Alright, you still have the pirate situation under control. Alright. And pirates haven't sprung up anywhere else, though this is probably getting close at this point.
Technology.
Well, the Traban Union has become more xenophobic. You can over time change your attitude towards things. We're probably going to be doing that at some point too, but not right now. Do we also want to build gateways? Do we have the resources to build a gateway and a science nexus at the same time? Probably not, but we could research it regardless.
Construction complete.
Right, you need more things to do. Let's go for another one of those.
Construction complete. Construction complete.
Oh, we could send some people over here. Which is probably not the worst idea, so let's... Ranik. Let's actually send the unemployed guy over. Also, we could always use some more Bibaki over here, so let's also send one of those over. And another clerk. Alright, now this is looking much more like a properly developed colony. With all the temples,
We have
we are
mastered a new
getting
technology.
more and more dominated by our committee of faith and values, which I don't mind. Normally I would mind, you know, if the religious extremists are taking over, but here it's all part of our strategy. But strangely enough, even though we are basically religious extremists, we're pretty good at doing science too, so... Meh. What's up with that Dyson sphere?
Our ships have been upgraded.
Found the remains of a Dyson sphere in the Waffirit system. It's obviously no longer operational, but with its hull having sustained critical damage from an unknown type of energy weapon. Of note are also the large debris fields surrounding the sphere. Although the megastructure itself is ancient, much of the debris in the system appears to be significantly younger. Most of it seems to originate from two distinct battle fleets that pummeled each other into oblivion, possibly in a war to decide ownership over the Shadow Sphere at some point in the more recent galactic history. So there's just nothing here? Because even though it's in the middle of nowhere, we are getting to a point where we could just take that over if they don't really want that system. I mean, they just, without asking us, just took that over, just took over that system in the middle of nowhere as well, so I don't know. I might be inclined to just take that. And I don't have to build my own entirely.
System survey complete.
Also has throw here. Damn. Pretty interesting system. Let's send one of our construction ships over. Not that one. That one is still building. Science Nexus. 402. It's quite a lot of influence. Let's move here first. If they still haven't taken it by then, we can still debate. There is some ship floating around here though. Not sure where it's heading. Alright, so we got our upgrades through. And now, starting from 26, we're suddenly at 35k, just, you know, with some decent upgrades. So we're looking pretty fine, I might say. Return to Volmar. And
Our ships have been upgraded.
since we do have capacity for more star bases, I'm actually going to upgrade that port here, so that we don't have to patrol there. Here we have a pretty decent patrol route, so far I have refrained from building bases here, but this one might become an issue at some point, so let's just avoid it altogether. But come to think of it,
System survey complete.
when you return, let's take a detour through there. Deal with the pirates there. Okay, this also happens often. We get offered various things. Some are very good, but have a low probability of success. I'll probably always go for the easy stuff. Additional army morale, which we're probably not gonna need. Also, our Committee of Faith and Values is also very happy when we successfully pierce the shroud and gain something out of that.
Construction complete.
So, also helps giving me a reason for why I just go for the easy option most of the time. Unless there's something really crazy. Alright. These ships actually have probably less piracy suppression than the corvettes here. Let's take a look at those. Yeah, they have a piracy suppression of 190 because they're small, agile ships and not a huge, very visible, very slow fleet of battleships and cruisers with few destroyers thrown in. So, if you want to just take care of pirates, then corvettes are better at doing that. So, Velosa Drexia seems to be approaching the limits. Why? Well, that's a shame. You had potential. But at this point, I might just consider getting someone else. I'm sorry. It's mean, I know, but just level 4, even though you have a plus 10% bonus from Spark of Genius, is just not quite cutting it, my dear. So we're just gonna fire you. If you have Arrested Development, You're out. Sounds mean, but that's the way we roll, I'm afraid.
Construction complete.
Okay, they still haven't taken control of the system. I'm guessing we're just gonna take that system away from them then. It's an interesting solution to the issue of where I want to build my Dyson sphere. Alright. If you don't want that, you know, I can definitely use it.
Construction complete.
Alright, Trappist got colonized. Let's build some mining districts immediately and that. After that we're gonna get some people over here. Alright. Oh, we're getting more! I forgot! Cool. Well then we have capacity to do even more if we want. All of a sudden things are going crazy! Alright, this is our system now, I guess. And since we got the technology, we can actually restore it. We do need a little bit more of small cash, you know, but... Alright. And we probably also need to figure out a way to defend, you know, that position over there, because right now it's basically in the middle of nowhere. If they decide to not let us pass through, we do kind of have an issue. However, we'll very shortly be able to build gateways ourselves, which are not quite as expensive as a science hub or a Dyson sphere. So we could use those to basically create a connection between that and our own systems, you know? So that's effectively just basically next door. Alright. Let's get that. Or I could also just use you to transport people somewhere else. Probably gonna do that, to be honest.
Construction complete.
Alright. We're just gonna remain here so we can
have mastered a new
build the gateway at some point. Not immediately, but right now we just laid claim to the system that apparently nobody wanted, so we just took it. What? Governor, right. The governor is dead! Well, he was a good one, but eventually I'm afraid he had to pass. I think we're just gonna... God damn it, what's with the clicking right now? Just gonna replace that guy with that. And then gonna need a new one for here. A research leader, finally! He's already a bit old, but you're a research leader. So kind of gets you an auto hire in my book. Okay. We should probably consider colonizing this now, so we're going to. And we can construct gateways now. Fine, fine, fine. Not doing it right now. Right now we're still laying the groundwork for our science nexus, and if we had way more alloys than we currently have, we could also just consider just starting to work on that Dyson sphere, but Not quite there yet, but we'll probably want to get some alloys for ourselves. So let's actually reduce that a little. So can't afford that anymore. Now begun the massive undertaking of constructing a science nexus. The foundation is in place and preparations are underway to add the main hub. The promise of new groundbreaking technologies and the realization of ideas beyond our wildest imaginations await. And though the road ahead is long and full of challenges, we have taken the first step. Although the night is dark and full of terrors. Wait, what? Could the endless mysteries of the universe finally be within our grasp? That's a good question. But for now, let's just add phase 1, which is, well, plus 100 to everything is not bad.
Construction complete.
But it's gonna eat up all of our alloy.
Complete.
Alright, well, we're gonna build our gates. I think this would be an excellent spot for a gate. This is where our ships are being built anyway. So
construction complete.
And the Tumbartor hegemony is starting to integrate
construction complete.
Confederacy over there. Apparently they subjugated them and now they're fully integrating them. Which gives them even more space, which is fine, but as far as I can tell, they're still vastly inferior to us. Speed power is pathetic, economic power supposedly is equivalent, which I don't quite believe, but technology level is inferior, and we're just boarding the crazy train, and the crazy train just don't stop. Alright, somewhere we can build more farms. Here, you know? We do top-notch research and farms. Sounds like a pretty decent place to live, actually.
Colonization efforts begun. We have mastered a new technology.
Alright. Let's get the Mega Cannon. Two words that definitely belong together, you know? Mega Cannon.
We have mastered a new technology.
Guess we're gonna unlock that so it doesn't get offered all the time. And next domination. You may be wondering, we're still creating lots of unity and we're almost done with all the traditions. There's something we can do with our unity after we've blown out all the traditions, so it's not going to become worthless. It's not going to become worthless, though it's going to become a bit less important than it probably was in the past.
We have mastered a new technology.
Sentry array. Well, probably not going to build that very soon, but we could get the tech rolling out at least. Well, this is going to take a few years, sadly.
We have mastered a new technology.
God damn it. All these things, god damn it. Yeah, I'm gonna take that. And what we can still do is these unity ambitions. Basically, it's a set of edicts that basically takes as much unity as unlocking one further point in our traditions would take. But since we're rapidly running out of traditions, you know, we should have another way of spending those points. Alright, I wanted to go to... No, not policies, edicts. There's nothing that we have with Megastructure construction right now. That's a shame. So just gonna leave it at that then. Alright, let's upgrade that. Build another mining district. Also, this should be, for now at least, a mining world. Same here. Let's actually resettle some people from... What was that? No, not these guys. I think it was Baronik, right? Still had some Spare people. And 1, 2, 3. Alright. But this is also a mining world. Well, it gives more growth speed. That's actually pretty neat to have. For the time being, at least. Eventually we are gonna run out of space and buildings to build on our main worlds. At that point, we probably want our people to emigrate from there back to our new worlds, but we do have quite some space there now as well, so that's gonna be great.
Construction complete.
Alrighty, let's get anchorages going.
Construction complete.
Alrighty, 20,000, right? Quite a number. Well, we can start selling food again. I'm not gonna sell more alloys though. I do want to have alloys for my building projects right now, so I might actually choose one of the colonies here and make him another alloy forge.
We have mastered a new technology.
Now we've built up some science-focused worlds, and they're doing a really great job at just rushing us through science now. But maybe at some point we'll interested in also building very impressive things. Shroud. There's a presence here. Let's attempt to communicate again. It welcomes us with great familiarity. It speaks not much in words, but in visions, concepts, ideas. It seeps into the minds of our telepaths so gently and smoothly that one might think it has always been there. Glory of images flashes before their eyes. The presence is known as the composer of strands, and it regards our biological forms with curious interest. It shows us a variety of ways in which they can be grown, changed, improved, evolved. It will only take it into our flesh. It waits for our answer patiently, affectionately, like a doting father waiting on his favorite child. Well, we get some bonuses, but there will be a price to pay. And I don't like there will be a price to pay later, as much as I like growth speed and leader lifespan, so see you hopefully never. Alright, speaking of seeing you, I'm sorry for the short episode, but I'm gonna wrap it up right here. In the next one, we'll continue building our mega structure projects and just gonna be awesome all the way around. So, gonna be pretty neat, but we'll see you that next time. Have a good one.